Appreciate you guys watching and following along. Thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. We're up to almost 350 subscribers. I appreciate that. So I have a little break here in the BMT series. This is going to drop on an in-between week, but I'm getting ready to head out on just a quick weekend trip. It's actually only going to be one night out. Me and J-Ben from J-Ben Hikes and Squidly from Going Feral with Squidly are headed up to the Fiery Gizzard Trail tomorrow morning. We're going to hike about 10-11 miles to a campsite and then hang out there for the night and then hike the rest of the way out. So if you know me, short trip, low miles for what I normally would do. But if 2020 taught me anything, it's, be adaptable, try different things. And so this for me is going to be kind of a luxury backpacking trip, let's call it. So I'm just going to throw together, show you what I'm packing for this trip, because it's not really a normal trip for me. I've actually got a chair coming that I'm going to bring, because you're doing a 10-mile day, 11-mile day, on a fast and light trip. The Bearikade, with the old thin light pad on top, makes a good seat for 30 minutes or something to eat dinner before I head to bed. But for a trip when you're in camp for a lot longer, that is not a comfortable option. So, like I said, I'll be bringing a chair, which is a little bit random for me. I'm actually bringing an old pillow that I used to use. It's the Nemo pillow, and it weighs about half a pound more than my normal pillow that I bring. But if I can sleep better on it, which seems like I remember sleeping pretty good with this pillow, I think that extra weight's going to be worth it. Bringing some extra sleep clothes over what I would normally do as well, because of the thought on a fast and light trip I generally will just bring my 50-degree quilt, because this trip, last I checked, it looks like the overnight low is going to be 29 Sunday morning. So just for the possibility, I would usually probably bring my 50 just to push me down into the 10-degree range in case I needed it, and not bring as many clothes for camp. But again, since we're going to be sitting in camp for a longer period of time, I'll actually be bringing camp clothes per se for warmth, rather than bringing more sleep insulation. So I'll just, if I need to, I'll wear camp clothes into the 30-degree quilt, which is over here sitting on this trunk. It'll be packed in the dry bag here in a minute. So that's some differences that'll be on this trip. Taking out a fresh pair of shoes. I know lots of people don't like the Ultra Temp 2s, but I decided to give them a try. I'm trying to save my Olympuses for a trip later this year. So, and if everything stays like it is and things are open, then Stumbleweed and I will hopefully be doing an AT section this year. We're going to try and do Damascus to Daleville, so about 260 miles. So I needed something for that, some shoes for that trip. So I got these Temp 2s. I know a lot of people don't like them, but they were on sale for half the normal price pretty much. I decided I'd give them a whirl. I took them out on a trail run. For the first half mile or so, I was not sure that I was going to keep them, but after that half mile, it's like the foam softened up or something, and then they were very reminiscent to me of my original Temps. They're a little tighter over the midfoot, which is fine with me. I like that. I don't mind that tightness there, but still roomy in the toe box, so that's good. So I'm going to take them on this trip, and then as long as they fare well on this, then they'll also be going with me on the AT this summer. So, I guess that's really it. Like I said, a little bit different trip than normal, but here we go. So, Z-Packs Arc Blast, giving this thing another whirl or two. I'm going to try and put the Bearikade in it a little different this time to see if it carries better. I guess it's not really going to be a true test of how it carries per se, except I'm packing it differently. So I'm going to get all my stuff that has to be dry in here. I'm going to put this pillow in here in the bottom and kind of let it fill out the back of the pack. So I'm bringing these Under Armour base 4.0 tights. Super warm. I actually bought them back when I was riding my motorcycle. In the winter when it was down in the 20s, I would use those. Bringing an extra pair of liners just so I have a fresh pair for Sunday morning. If you follow along on the BMT, you guys may not be far enough in yet, but my X-Lite started to lose baffles. By the end of the trip, I had lost 2 or 3, maybe 4 baffles. I sent it back and they warrantied it, and they sent me the brand new wing lock version of the X-Lite with the inflation sack. Now I'm going to bring the inflation sack on this trip. Going forward, I may just use my pack liner to inflate it. I'm just going to see how this works. It's extra weight, but again, it's pretty much a single night out, so I'm not too worried about weight for this trip. Let's see what else is going in here. Those are clothes that I'm taking. Oh, down beanie. It's like I said, it's supposed to be 29, so EE side kicks, gotta have those. I take those on every trip because I get cold feet. What else is going in here? Those are staying in my warmth pile. EE Torrid, Apex, it's going in here. And then, like I said, we've got bringing the EE 30 degree down. This is a regular. I'm 6'2", it fits me fine. I mean, you're not pulling it over your head or anything, which is fine. For me, I don't want to do that. This does have the draft collar, so this is one of the newer models. I think I mentioned 950 fill. So you can see it's pretty floofy, but it is 17 ounces, maybe 17 and a half. If you want to know for sure, check my lighter pack. I'll have it in the description of everything that I'm bringing down to the minutia. Let's see. The other kind of variable on this one is I'm not sure how tight I'm going to end up packing the quilt. Usually I'll get it packed down pretty tight because I'll have both quilts and all this other stuff. So I usually pack it down pretty tight. But since I'm not bringing as much stuff, I'm kind of just going to have to play with how tight I get it, because I need the bear canister to sit in a certain spot to test some information I got from Z-Packs on how they really recommend you carry a canister in this pack. So instead of strapping it on top like I've been doing, it's actually going to go in the top here. So next up, well, if I can get a hold of it, Z-Packs duplex. Pack that in there. I may have to push that down more than I was thinking. No, alright. Anyhow, sleep pad going next. I don't put it in the dry bag because it ends up getting damp sometimes. So let's just see. I don't have the stuff in there. Yeah, that's not going to roll down, so that's just have to be played with, so I'm going to have to get more air out of that bag in there. And that's kind of the test of this, is to see if I can actually get all my stuff in here with the, and be able to pack the bear canister on top like that. If those two items, if the tent and the pad weren't as round as they were, I guess I could look at packing them in a way that it could maybe go around the bear canister, but I think I'll not try that this time. That way at least the bear canister would stay centered. Alright, we got that down a little bit further. Let's see. Yeah, I think that may work. Alright, let's just see. Well, we're close, but get one roll. I might get two. Yeah, I can get 2 rolls on it, so that should work. Since it's already in here, what I'm going to do on this trip is, normally I'd put my rain gear on the outside of the pack, but this trip we're not supposed to get rain. So I'm going to put my umbrella down in the bottom of this. Actually, put it over here on the side. And I'm going to take the rest of my rain gear and actually put it around the bear canister. So, there it is. The Visp rain mitts, those are going there. This is the Z-Packs rain kilt. This is not the ECF version. I lost that one last year on the AT, and the old frog togs. It has been repaired with some duct tape. So I'm gonna stuff that down in this side over here. And let's see, do I have anything else that's rain gear? A bunch of warmth stuff. To put my stakes in here for the tent. Those go on the outside. Alright. And I don't think if I want to. I've usually been rolling this up and just sitting on the bottom, and I may just do that this time too. Alright, so let's pack this bear canister. So, again, it's not a long trip, so I've got some vitamin supplement stuff that I take. It's going in there. This is all of Saturday's food minus Saturday's breakfast. I'm just going to take Saturday's breakfast to have it out and then eat it right before we get going. I'm bringing a stove, so that's the totes bag, the BRS 3000T, a full canister of fuel, my totes 550 pot, and a little mini bit. Unfortunately, I had another canister of fuel left over from the BMT trip that I thought was about empty, so I said, oh, let me see how much is left in it. I'll just burn it off, you know, since I didn't think it was going to be enough for this trip. Well, that canister burned for 20 minutes, and it turned out I had the weights wrong on the empty canister versus what the fill weight of it was. So I ended up would have had enough fuel for the trip. But, oh well. So this Sunday's food, just breakfast and breakfast shake and some peanut butter. Probably not going to throw my light load towel in there. My little funnel that I made from the top of the smart water bottle. This is the breakfast for Saturday morning that's not going in there. I do have a printed out paper map, topo map of the trail and some other information on the trail in there in a Ziploc. Just like to have that sometimes. Electronics, I'm using a Ziploc freezer bag instead of one of my DCF bags for this. Just gonna see how well it holds up. My normal water bottle. I usually put the, a quick carry and pick and pull, so these are actually gonna go in the side pocket on here is where I usually keep my tent poles. Take some tension out of this, perhaps. Alright, anyhow, we're actually going to put that down. I'm going to put that in the canister because I'm not going to need it until we get to camp anyway, so it's going to go in there. Let's see. So that is everything that's going to go in the pack and the canister. So I just realized I don't have a coin with me. Usually I keep one in my pack to lock this down with, so I'm going to have to grab that. But, let's see here. Water stuff, I usually fold it up and it goes in the side pockets. So this is a Sawyer squeeze bag that comes with it. Cut the top off, makes a super light water scoop. It weighs about 18 grams. So I use that. Ever new 2-liter bladder. My dirty bag. Sawyer squeeze, same one I've been using for years. It's in a freezer bag because I've noticed you put them in a regular Ziploc and they get wear and tear on that Ziploc pretty bad. I've had to double zip it sometimes, just so when you sleep with it, you don't end up with any moisture in your sleep system. So this will go over here in the side pocket. This is the dead cap for the shotgun, the Rode Video Micro that's on the camera right now. All my electronics go in the front. I have a Z-Packs multi-pack, so I keep my phone, tripod, shotgun mic, all that good stuff in the front pack here. We'll go ahead. I've got these Amazon dance pants for wind pants. You know, the EE ones are much lighter, but these are also much cheaper. So those are gonna, like I said, all my warmth stuff is gonna go here in the front. I've got some gloves, possum down gloves. Those are gonna go in the front. Those are all clothes for the trip. So Black Rock Woolly is gonna be in here for warmth stuff. Wet wipes and trowel for poop kit. Those will be in here. Light load towel, that'll go in here too, because there is one water crossing on this trip that I'm aware of, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to get my feet wet or not, but I've been debating on the camp shoe thing again, because, well, it's a luxury trip, you should bring camp shoes just to have something to wander around and camp with, but don't know, we'll see. If I do that, it'll all be on my lighter pack list if I add anything or take anything away. So that's there. And then in my front pockets, I have gotten to where I put my first aid kit, which is also my hygiene stuff, toothbrush, floss, all that stuff. It goes in this pouch. My Nightcore NU25 headlamp, and it's currently locked out, so it can't be accidentally turned on. I've been putting that in the pouch just because it's nice to be able to get to it. And a little pack of Kleenex, because inevitably your nose ends up running. So that's in there. I usually put these clips on the side straps, and I use these so I can roll up the doors on my duplex, so I can have the doors partially open and then clip them up so that they're not, you know, if I need the coverage if it's raining, then I can have it partially open but partially closed. So I usually just throw these on the side of the pack, clip them on the straps here. And on the BMT trip, I use those to clip wet socks to dry out for the next day. So this is probably going to get rolled up and go on the front. But the only other thing that you haven't seen is the chair. It's supposed to show up today. So that is potentially going to go, water, tent poles, and this. So I'll probably stick it over here in the side pocket where my water filtration stuff is. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask below in the comments. Nice and loud. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. And trip video will be following this up in about probably 2 weeks. 2 Wednesdays from when this airs. There'll be a BMT video in between, and then the trip video should be out. So thanks for watching.